Hello, everyone. I'm Sally, the operations officer for Sally's Book Talks and your editor in chief at Cutie. Li Shui Qin is on vacation this week. So, this week I'm filling in temporarily, and I want to chat with you about general knowledge. We often talk about promoting general knowledge education and cultivating well rounded talents. So, what is general knowledge? General knowledge refers to the fundamental knowledge everyone should know, no matter their profession or field. We acquire knowledge sometimes to achieve a practical goal, like passing an exam or seeking a better job, but general knowledge is different. It might not solve a specific problem right away, but it broadens your life's scope, letting you see the world more fully and experience life more deeply. Plus, learning new things itself is a joyful experience. So, next week, I'll bring you 6 hardcore general knowledge books from history, psychology, economics, management, science, and more. Who knows? After listening, you might get hooked on a new field you've never explored. Our journey into general knowledge starts with the ever present advertising around us. You see and hear tons of ads every day, but did you know the earliest ads actually came from ancient Athens, and back then the slogans were sung? In modern times, ads are everywhere. How does the advertising industry work internally? How much profit do businesses really make from the billions spent on ads each year? Most importantly, does advertising harm public interests? Listening to this book will help you become a rational consumer, keeping a clear distance from impulsive shopping sprees. And on Tuesday, we'll step into the fascinating world of dreams. The book for that day is The Heart of Dreams. What's new about it? That's because it doesn't interpret your dreams' meanings or link them to your past or future like Freud's interpretation of dreams does. Instead, it explains the mechanics of dreaming using cutting edge neuroscience. Why don't bizarre things seem strange in your dreams? Why can we only recall dream details for a short time after waking? Under what circumstances can people realize they're dreaming? On Tuesday, we'll listen to this book. On Wednesday, we'll dive into a great history book, The French Revolution. The French Revolution is the most impactful event in modern political history. All kinds of forces tangled together, one group after another taking the stage. Bloodshed involved emperors and revolutionaries. The old dynasty was first overthrown, but years later, it was restored in bloodshed, with feudal cycles repeating. The revolutionary process was super messy, and with later reinterpretations, the whole event became a maze. People trying to understand the French Revolution often end up totally baffled. But the author Doyle uses clear language to sketch out the revolution, from its outbreak to spiraling out of control and finally consuming the revolutionaries themselves. Madame Roland, a famous politician during the French Revolution, once said, "Liberty, liberty, how many crimes are committed in thy name? Liberty, oh liberty, how many crimes are done in your name?" This phrase sums up the French Revolution and echoes in many social events today. On Thursday, we'll say goodbye to the heavy stuff and spice things up with some exotic vibes. Mention ancient Egypt, and pyramids and mummies come to mind, but exploring ancient Egypt introduces us to another obscure artifact. The Narmer palette holds tons of info about ancient Egypt, showing a fuller picture beyond just death themes, and in a way, it symbolizes the whole culture. Follow it to dig into Egypt, and you're sure to uncover some cool, niche finds. On Friday, I'm going to tell you about Jung, a great psychologist. He was a psychoanalysis master and a founder of modern psychology. Freud called him my heir and son, but he split from Freud to stick to his own academic views. Um, he parted ways with his mentor. Jung wasn't just academically steadfast. He was an encyclopedic author citing multiple fields, but his big flaw, his writing was kind of rough, making his books tough to read and daunting for average folks. If it feels a bit daunting, but you don't want to miss Jung's deep psychological insights, then understanding Jung is just the thing for you. This book breaks it down in simple terms, focusing on Jung's big three theories: personality structure, personality types, and life development. These three theories explain how our minds are built and what makes up our personality types. For instance, traits like introversion or extroversion that we're familiar with, and how people exhibit characteristics at different stages of life development, from infancy to old age. Um, Finally, Saturday's book is titled Darwin and the Theory of Evolution. When you hear about evolution, you might think of the golden phrase, survival of the fittest. But you may not know that the theory faced many hurdles, from proposal to acceptance, opposed not only by religious groups, but also questioned by mainstream scientists. And even today, it has theoretical gaps and isn't fully proven. After listening to this book, the word science might take on a whole new meaning for you. All right, that wraps up this week's book recommendations. Next time, Shu King will be back with you.